last night we had a crazy windstorm. Absolutely crazy. It was blowing stuff around. Like, normally I enjoy a good windstorm, but no, last night this was way beyond my tolerance. Okay, so we blew that down. So I am now really super puzzled because I took down 2 of those and they're both there. The third one has been ripped off in the windstorm. I don't know where it is. A bit of debris. Oh, there it is. Holy. There it is. We are now ready for our first test fit. Oh, you're a little bit dirty there. Hang on. That better? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we have all the steps cut out. We're going to take it on the back, do a test fit, see if it is actually what we need. This is the make it or break it moment. So one of the other challenges that I'm running into is the concrete that we have down here at the base is hokey, but it's also, because it's cracking, every winter when you get water underneath and it freezes, it actually moves the concrete up and down. So I'm going to make these steps as good as I can, but they're not going to be perfect. All we're going to do now is cut a second stringer that matches that one, and we're good. Okay, while I wait for the saw battery to recharge again, I've taken the opportunity to put some cut sealer along the first stringer so that that one is as protected as it can be. I also have some waterproof deck sealer as well. I might try and get a coat of that onto some of the exposed areas. So at least it's going to give it a bit more of a fighting chance to survive. But the next step for stringer 1, which is to attach a supporting beam or piece to the stringer on the inside, just to give it a bit more rigidity. So that is another 16-foot long piece. It's slightly smaller, and that's just going to go on the inside of the stringer. That is now attached. Looks more like a stringer as we go. There's still a little bit of notching that I have to do along here, just so that the treads are going to fit nicely. But it's already feeling pretty solid as a stringer. I'm pretty happy with that. I am going to take a break. This kidney stone is really starting to bug me right now, so I'm going to take a bit of a rest and come back to this shortly, maybe.
It turns out I thought there'd be a lot more damage after the storm than there was. So that's a good thing. Fence is up this time, so that's nice. So I'm going to do just some general yard cleanup anyway, because that storm did bring down all the remaining leaves and do some tidy up because we're supposed to be getting some snow. Yeah, so I'm just going to do my thing. I want one of those leaf sucky uppy tools. I wonder if I can persuade Matt. You don't belong in there. Neither do you, or any of you guys. Could have been a lot worse. Need a tea break. And I said tea, not pee. See, normally sweeping a bunch of leaves wouldn't seem like a lot of work for me. I try to keep pretty fit, and yeah, it's just another of the many jobs I do. But after 6 weeks of completely not being allowed to lift anything, and the major surgery just before the 6 weeks of rest and recuperation, this is exhausting. I'm just gonna be here for a while. Hey bud, you gonna come help me? Huh? You gonna come out and help? Come on then. Little too cold for your liking, isn't it? I'm just gonna stay right here and supervise. Okay. Got all the leaves done. Three bags in a bin. So I've achieved. Last job before the snowfall and before I quit for the winter back here is to tidy up all my veggie stuff. Little trick that I like to use is I will actually there's always some leftover tomatoes that don't make it in. Either they go too ripe before we get to them. In the case of this lot this year, because we had such a late summer, it took a lot longer for the stuff to ripen, and then we suddenly went to cold. So we had stuff on these branches that weren't even ripe, all ready to pick. Some are overripe, some are underripe. We got a lot. We did eat a lot. But one trick I love to do is I'll actually let some of the overripe stuff just drop. Let it drop into the pots and just leave them in the pots. And what typically happens over the winter, they just settle there and the fruit rots into the pot. And then the following spring, once it gets warm enough, it seeds itself and I end up with all these little tomato plants. And I don't have to buy more seeds. It's just this constant cycle. And I've been doing that for years and it's always worked for me. So yeah, I'll always leave a few. So I'm going to just tidy up the plants now and pull up the actual plants themselves, but I'm going to make sure that I leave plenty of old fruit ready for next spring. And there we go. I wouldn't normally use green ones, but I thought, what the heck, they might germinate, but there's enough red ones in there anyway. So they should pop up. I'll sort of tuck them in nicely for the winter, and then they should hopefully give us some more plants in the next spring. Taking out all the sticks and stuff to put in the shed so I can use them again next year. Yep, the predicted snow arrived, which means the clock on our stair project has temporarily paused. It's the story of our lives. Am I the only person who has to dig a pathway through the backyard in the snow in the garden just so that their dog could go to the bathroom. Is it just me? One thing I am doing in the snow is checking for rat tracks. Because last year we had a rat getting into the crawl space here, and I am not seeing any tracks. So that is a good thing, because I did find some telltale tracks over here, but I also found the same tracks coming away from the house to that fence and away. So this is good. We might not actually have a rat in our crawl space this winter, which would be nice.
It is finally the weekend again. I managed to get some extra work done on the stringers that you missed, because where were you? Okay, so we're going to get this out and just trim these supports off. When we put the treads, they'll be able to butt up nice and tight to the risers. Some of them are more proud than others, which I suspect is due to my templating, measuring and cutting. That's as good as it's going to get. Okay, I've done a couple of these by hand, and they're not pretty. So, I reevaluated my life choices, and I thought I must have something. I've switched to the multi-tool. It's definitely a lot easier to use than a handsaw. So I'm cutting these notches out with the multi-tool, and then just kind of cleaning them up with a file manually, just to make sure they're nice and clean. This is where the battery died 2 nights ago. Okay, so while we were... it is so cold. The muscles in my face can't talk properly. While we wait for the sealer to dry on the stringers, I'm going to fabricate the top plate, which is going to be where the stringers fasten to. And we also have to put a 2x4 piece at the bottom of there, and then notch out a piece on the stringers to sit on that 2x4. I think the cold's affecting my head as well. I have words that I'm trying to get out, but my head is not cooperating. I'm just going to do this. You can watch, and hopefully we'll figure out what's going on. The second piece I've cut slightly shorter, because that is going to be a support beam that I'm going to put in halfway on the stringers, just to keep them spaced evenly as we're putting them in place, and hopefully provide a little bit more rigidity to the staircase once it's in place. We are now notched out on that one, which is good. I should make sure that fits actually. Nice. So what we're going to be able to do is bolt through from here into the stringer, because the string will be up here. Okay, the daylight beat us, but we're ready to lift the new stringers into position tomorrow and connect them up to the base plate at the top. Then we can sort out all that junk that the wind very kindly left us.
I was right. There's nobody here to witness this.
Oh, we do not dwell on the past.